Chapter 5, Crisis in the Colonies.
A little bit louder.
Section 1. The French and Indian War. Conflict over the Ohio Valley started in the French and Indian War. During the French and Indian War, many Native American tribes chose sides. The French had allies with the Algonquins and the Hurons. The English had the Iroquois as allies. During the war, George Washington led a surprise attack on the British, but he was badly outnumbered, so they surrendered. Later, defending Fort Necessity, George Washington made the New Albany Plan of Union. The plan was to create a government in the colonies. Then, the British began to fight with the French over the Quebec territory. The place they fought was called the Plains of Abraham. The fall of Quebec showed the fate of New France. Finally, Britain and France signed the Treaty of Paris, bringing the conflict to an end. Section 2. Turmoil over taxation. When the colonists began to settle on the Ohio Valley, they clashed with many Indians. Pontiac, an Indian leader, led an attack on the colonists. Other tribes joined him. They began the Pontiac's War. Because of Pontiac's War, colonists stopped settling in the West. They issued the Proclamation of 1763. It drew an imaginary line along the Appalachian Mountains, forbidding colonists to cross. In 1764, the Parliament made new taxes. The Sugar Act was when they taxed molasses. The Stamp Act was when they taxed everything, and a stamp proved it was paid for. Many colonists were angry, so they protested and boycotted. And the Township Acts were when they taxed things like paper and tea. Section 3. Protests from protest to revolution. By 1773, Parliament passed the Tea Act. The Tea Act would pass tea merchants and only sell to colonists. They would still have to pay the tax, but it would be less pricey. The colonists got mad, and so they protested and boycotted the tea. In November 1773, Samuel Adams led a group of people to make the Boston Tea Party, an event when people raided 3 ships full of tea and they dumped them into the Boston harbor. Because of this, the Parliament passed the Intolerable Acts.
Parliament has given control of all tea imports to the East India Trading Company. What do you suppose we should do about it?
Something needs to be done.
What's your wife? He knows that.
Oh, alright.
Don't say sorry to me. Apologise to a nice man.
Sorry, nice man.
I have an idea. What if we just take all the tea, push it into the water?
Whatever you do, don't damage the ship.
The intolerable acts were 4 laws that punished the colonists. In June 1st, 1774, delegates from 12 colonies called the First Continental Congress. They created a militia and Minutemen. In 1765, fighting broke out in Lexington and Concord that would make America a new independent nation.